Hey, what up, internet? Sorry, we were too busy trading. I forgot to launch the program. Um, Listen, we shorted three stocks today, and we made money on them in a market that doesn't go down. So, if you've been in the room, we've been really just professional trading right now. But at the end of the day, remember, you're never shorting the cues, right? Yesterday's new generational lows, right? So you had a pullback yesterday. Now you're going to be met with a tenfold move to the upside. And again, that doesn't mean you can't short stocks because my three trades today, ASTS short, USAR short, Rigatoni short. And we picked our spots and we got paid. And I'm in some Fermi long right now. But you're never going to be able to short the cues and make money ever again, right? It just doesn't work, right? For any extended period of time. So yesterday, if you guys were with us, and I think you were, we milked this trade better than any humans possibly could do it because we have the algorithmic printing. So when we were short the cues yesterday, and every level, we got the 1 minute to the multi, and then we got to the 2 day, and then we got to the 3 day, and then we got to the 5 day. And I said, now that's probably it because stocks don't tend to go through 5 days worth of VWAP. And not only did it not break the 5 day, but now those are new generational lows, and you'll never see them again. And we're probably going to tack on tenfold where we came from because that's this market. So you pull back 1 day, and however many points the pullback was, you rally back. I'm talking about the Q specifically. So now, yesterday, what did you do? You pulled back about 3 points. So now we have to rally 30. And that's been the correlation. And that's why it's pointless to short the Qs. You could short some stocks, right? And we're crushing it. And we're crushing it on stocks that I like. USAR short because the stock told us you have permission to short. And we're killing it, right? Crushing it, killing it. In a bull market that never goes down, we picked our spot. We missed the first move, test the VWAP from underneath, confirming weakness, short it, right? RGTI. You know, this stock's going to 3,000, right? At least, right? But today, broke VWAP, got to the prior day, right? Then it bounced, but it didn't break VWAP. What? Oh, that must mean I could actually short the stock with limited risk. And it got down to the prior day, and then it went down to the 2 day, which is where we took some profits so far. And assuming that the same rule applies, shorting is short-lived and we're going to die, you just lower your stops after you take some profit. Like USAR, our stop is now 27.87. Our stop on Rigatoni is pretty much the break even, which is 43.91. And USAR continues to go down, so we'll continue to stay short. But when you look at the Qs, right? So if you were delusional enough to think yesterday's sell-off was something, right? No, it's not something until it is something, right? So until it is something, what you do is go look at UVXY. Is UVXY green or red? It's red. Sell-off's over. Simple as that. Until UVXY goes green and then has 2 up days after that. So it has to have 3 up days in a row. That'll be the warning sign that the market might sell off for 2 days in a row. And until that happens, we're never going down, ever. Every pullback is met with a 10x move back in your fotch. You want to short stocks? Make sure they look like USAR right now. Right? We're milking it to every freaking penny. There you go. We just covered a little bit more. Why? Because that's where the pivot point was from the overnight, from last night. Bang, cover. So now we're in the driver's seat on this trade, right? We're killing it. In a bull market, we're actually short a stock that's actually trending down, right? So now that we got through 3 days worth of VWAP, there was one spot in between the 3 and the 4. So now we're thinking this thing could actually fall to 26.91. Will it? Probably not. Are you insane? Stocks don't go down. But this one is right now. So as each level gets hit on the way down, you say to yourself, holy shit, I can't believe this is working. Let me take some money. And then you lower your stop. So now that 27.87, we get rid of all these lines because none of them mean anything anymore. Because we've been milking this trade since here. Sorry, here. I got in late, but working. I believe because the algorithm's telling me that it could go to 26.18. And then I say to myself, stocks don't go down. I should be happy with what this is doing already. But now I could stay short by placing stops at the pivots. So 27.34 and 27.55. You got 600 shares left, put 3 here and 3 here. You got 3,000 shares left, put 1,500 here, 1,500 here. Don't cover it all at one price. You want to be delusional enough to think this stock's going to continue to follow through and go down? Are you mad? Are you insane? Well, you have permission to be insane right now because the stock's telling you can be. But then you have to take your pinky toe, dip it back into reality, realizing that nothing goes down. Nothing goes down. Nothing stays down. We shouldn't even be in this trade. Place your stops. And that's how you stay short. You want to be psychotic enough to actually put shorts on in a market that never goes down? You better pick your stops. You better understand VWAP. You better understand prior day VWAP. You better understand market mechanics. And you better understand that you better take money while it's happening and assume that inevitably, not only is this going to be you're going to have to cover it, but we're going to inevitably go long this trade at some point today. We're covering and going long inevitably. Right? Because USAR is still going to $50, right? This is a fart. It's a fart in the wind moment of time that we're just doing. This is professional trading or pseudo professional. We're taking our chance because the market gave us permission and we're milking it for every damn penny we can get. My name's Kenny Glick. If this is your first day here, welcome to VWAP Trading, where you could actually short stocks in a market that never goes down because the VWAP gave you permission. And on that note, shh. All right, got 2 open mics at the same time. Hey, what's up, y'all? You guys see me? Sorry, I'm late. Breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the confusion. Breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the CNBC. Breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the doubt. Yay. So listen, when you are shorting stocks, you need to trade them as if you are in an AA meeting, which you are, because you are psychotically deranged. You're a sorry I have to use bad words right here, but you're a fucking lunatic. And I know I am, right? But because I've gotten my ass kicked 3 different times, I've never blown up an account long. I've only blown up accounts shorting, right? Because you have unlimited risk. Inevitably, you have to get the hell out. And also because the market never goes down. You could short stocks, but trying to short the market over any extended period of time, virtually impossible. And even shorting in this market is virtually impossible. But if you are true VWAPian and you truly believe in what we're doing here, in the market, there are signs, right? And that's called what? Setups. Setups are the signs that you have now permission from the stock gods to entertain the idea that a stock that has rallied from 5 to 30 could actually pull back 2 points. Right? And what is that confirmation? It is that right there. That one attempt to get back over the VWAP and then the roll, which is the finger of God. Right? So when you got the roll, that's when you could start to believe. And then you use proper VWAP, right? The 1 minute and the multi-day have collided there to tell you it's going to be real hard getting over that spot. So then when we roll over, you just grab my data set and it says you're going to have a shot to get down to 28.15. Great. Cover some right there. Bounced. And then it rolled. And then we said, hey, if it rolls, it's going to go to 27.45. Look where it went. Boom. Covered some there. And then it rolled. So then we start to think, is this really going to go to 26.19? Probably not, because shorting is short-lived and we're going to die. So as we're making money on the way down, you place your stops at the prior levels where you're covered, knowing, not debating, knowing that shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. So if you're in a position where you actually are making money as a shorter, you must walk through the steps. Step one is, I can't believe I'm actually shorting this thing, but the market's telling me I can. Second is, oh my God, I can't believe it's working. I better take some money because shorting is short-lived and I'm going to die. Okay, now I'll use proper stops. It's telling me I can make some more money on this short. Okay, I'll lower my stop. I'm not going to be delusional and think the stock's going to go down all day because we never go down, right? All day. And then you realize that not only will you be covering this short, inevitably you're going to go long. And that's when you realize you are now a pseudo-professional trader because you're working through the orders like you should be. You got to work through it, right? You got to understand what you're doing, especially as a shorter. But if you can short in a bull market, first of all, do it this way. You got to walk through the steps. And it's not a joke. You know, I've never lost more money on anything than shorting. You know, it's destroyed me. But now, because I just trade VWAP, if I'm going to short, it has to confirm and then almost reconfirm like this one did, because it was a short here, but that reconfirmation, and I was like, oh, look, they're going to sell my baby off and I'm going to take advantage of it. Even though I still think this stock's going to 50, I want to make that money. So now I could take this money and buy the stock back with the house money that I just made on the short. And if anybody still likes this name, I do, but I'd like to see it pull back another 2 points would be nice. And then recover and go long. And if you guys were with me yesterday as we were ASMRing through the QQQ short, right? We walked through the steps, right? We milked that trade. Couldn't possibly do that trade any better than we did yesterday. We actually shorted the Qs and stayed short the whole time because the market told us that if it breaks here, it's going to go here. Place your stop here, and we never got stopped out. That was the rare moment. You shorted the Qs today, you had no chance. There hasn't been really one moment, and this is why everybody loses their money shorting. They think pullbacks and retracements are shorting opportunities. No, they're not. You're above VWAP. If you're above VWAP, Every pullback is just that. It's a pullback. It's not a shorting opportunity. A shorting opportunity will happen now is if we break VWAP and break this level, maybe you do it. Don't get in the way. We're about to move 10% higher into the end of the year, if not the end of the week. Right? So we shorted ASTS 3 times today, right? Why? Are you insane? Kenny, I just heard you on the morning show. You said the stock's going to 120. Yes, it is. But just like USAR, it's going to 50, but I'm taking advantage of the gap sell-off, right? So I played the fade. I shorted right out of the gate, but it didn't break VWAP. Immediately covered it for a small profit. Rallies, starts to roll. I shorted it. Doesn't break VWAP. I immediately cover it for a small loss. Rips higher, rolls, tests it from underneath. Aha! Reason to short it. And look where it went. To the prior day VWAP. Because that's what stocks do. They want to refresh. And where do they refresh back to? Prior day VWAP, the algorithm that we built back in 2012 and have been playing with it ever since. And when you get familiar with this, and then you take your game up, and you meet my algorithmic traders, Mr. Soligello, and we're going to introduce Mike Noss to the program soon. And this is what we do. We trade as if we are robots, because the only way to beat the machine is to be the machine. And we're not beating the market, right? No one beats the market. We are the market. So you participate in what the market is doing. So when the market tells you it's about to do something and confirming that idea, put the trade on, identify your risk, and then milk it as much as you possibly can. And right now, look, I'm pleasantly surprised that this USAR worked out so well. Now, here's a trade that didn't work out so well. Open. Right? Holy shit. Right? Bought the high of the day. Sorry, bought the high of the day right here. Profitable trade. But if you didn't sell it, again, wonderful scalp. Right? Wonderful. And I don't use that word lightly. Wonderful. Bought the break. Got to the 950. I sell. You know, it's an eighth of a point. I'm so old. I remember when stocks traded an eighth of a point. And what we would do, one of the first, we didn't even know any better. You know, stock was under 10 bucks. My mentor taught me to start the position with 3,000 shares. I'm like, really? We would start positions with 3,000 shares, because if you're risking only an eighth, it was 375 bucks. So, but then we would look to make eighths and quarters, you know, and again, you didn't have penny increment bullshit. If the momentum of a stock, the market makers would move an eighth of a point. So if you bought something at, you know, let's say, well, at this specific right here, right? So 9 1/4 got you 9 3/8, 9.5. We would sell eighth. And then at 9.60, we're looking for 9 5/8. And then we'd lower our stop to the half and the 3/8. So in this case, even though this trade turned out to be a blow off top rollover, right, which would have been an awesome short, at least using that ideology of the eighths on $10 stocks, because generally $10 stocks will move in eighths of a point, 12.5, you know, like 12, 15 cent increments. If you buy something at the quarter and you get the half, that's a good trade. You're selling already. And if you placed your stop at break even, like I did, I didn't even notice this thing was getting hammered because I wasn't even paying attention. I'm out. That's crazy. See, this is why I'm hiring. See, my assistant would have said, hey, we just got stopped out of open. It's breaking VWAP. I'm shorting it. Good. Go get it. And you'd be crushing it on the other side. By the way, KYTX did get the, you got to be kidding me. KYTX did get the 750 after all. Look at this. One faux show bro away from squeezing. Every stock is one faux show bro away from ripping in your fotch. Here, this stock is a dog shit fake pharmaceutical company, right? How do I know that? I don't. Who cares what it does, right? We noticed it earlier. I saw it on my scanner. I'm like, I don't want to get involved in some bullshit therapeutic stock. They're usually pump and dumps and you lose money, which is true, right? But look at the consolidation. The consolidation led to a breakdown. Look at the prior day VWAP telling you, you know what? Yeah, we're going to try to sell it off, but it's a fake out, shakeout. Prior day VWAP. Now you're buying it at 7, banging it out here at 750. So that's what's amazing about VWAP. It transcends all time and space. You could use it on any stock as long as there's some decent volume. And even trades like Open, it's telling you, hey, man, it worked, but you got to get out now and possibly join the other side. And by the way, we only got one other trade on right now. It's FRMI long. And you see why, right? The faux show held the prior day VWAP, broke back above VWAP, pulled back. I finally bought it right here. I'm in from 27.87, spiked up to 28.20. I'm still in it because why? Because look where it pulled back to. 27.65. We know where my stop is? That blue line. So all this chop is just chop. It's noise. If it rolls over and dies, that's when I got to sell it. And my other trade is now disintegrating because I bought puts on Rigatoni. I only got 2 contracts left. We actually made money on the trade, which is a miracle. And that's where we're at right now. It's kind of a boring day, but we've been actively trading this USAR pretty damn well. Rigatoni, not bad. We got paid on a short twice. Had some puts, got paid. Still got a couple contracts that look like, it's not going to work out. And here we are. So while I got you here, anybody want to come to Vegas? The trip is now being planned. I'm going to be on the main stage. Coming to the main stage, he likes long walks on the beach and loose women. Kenny the Warlock Glick. What? Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm doing 2 presentations in Vegas. Don't tell my wife. It's really just about going to Vegas. We're going to have some fun. I got a 45-minute private session to do, and I'm going to be on the main stage. And I'm gonna go in the white suit, no shirt. It's gonna be a freaking hoot. And if you guys are interested, it's the end of February. We're at the Paris Hotel. What happened, Baba Booey? You can't hear me? Check, check. Oh. And if you haven't signed up, I'm doing a little special tomorrow, which is basically going to be the same thing I do in Vegas. I'm doing a 45-minute intro to VWAP for Wealth 365. And it's going to be fun because anytime I do these circle jerk seminars where all these analysts, all these people selling stuff, I always challenge them to a duel. So I want to challenge people. I think it would be great content. Everybody gets all bent out of shape when I do it. They think I'm very insulting and condescending, which I am. But I'm trying to be. I'm actually not like that. But when people want to be in this arena, I would put me, Solid, Straza, Sean. We'll let JC. We'll leave JC out of this. But I think me, Solid, Straza, and Sean rumble. I think we should have guru rumbles. We launch a website and we see who the best gurus on the internet are at trading. And then we do it for money or whatever, or do it for Riz, what the kids say. We do it for Riz, do it for what do they call it? Bragging rights. Do it for bragging rights. Or what I want to do is I want to challenge people for money. But I don't want your money when we win. I want you to shut your service down, kneel to the VWAP, and bring all your subscribers to us and be gone, vapid fool. You don't get to play in my arena any longer. And nobody ever takes the challenge because, you know, they don't want to be humiliated now. And again, I'm the one to talk. I'm the moron that keeps shorting the queues and losing money every day. Yeah, queues, man. You're short? I told you, man. Don't do it. It's like criminal. That's why it's amazing we actually escaped alive on the USAR trade, which is pretty much coming to an end. The rigatoni's, pretty much done. And it's just you cannot even the idea of trying to stay short. Just remember, there's a guy outside your house waiting to come for you with a straitjacket in a van. Hey, you the guy shorting the queues? Get in the fucking van. No, I didn't do it today. I saw you what you did yesterday. It's bad enough. Get in the van. Because, man, I try every day. I don't think there's a day where I haven't tried a QQQ short at least once in like 20 years. I'm a freaking idiot. Oh, man. But yesterday, it's bad that it worked. Because you come in today, I'm like, whoa, maybe we get some follow through on the downside. No, there'll never be follow through on the downside. Over Macho Grande? I'll never get over Macho Grande. There's never going to be any selling. And now you have to assume that yesterday's pullback is now new generational lows. And it's just absurd. Like, we can't even get the market to pull back 2 days in a row. And I'm getting emails from hedge fund guys. Kenny, you got to worry about these credit default swaps. Oh, the VIX is flashing. This guy just went on. And again, I respect him. And he says it's worked 3 times already in the past. And I said, well, it's going to be wrong this time. He says, nah, man, it works 95% of the time. And I said, I'll be on the other 5%. You let me know when the market actually starts to go down, and then we'll talk. But right now, we're about to lift off another 10% from here and then double. We're not going down. And the easy answer is UVXY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. Until UVXY stops going down 97% of the time, I'll say the bears are onto something. When UVXY does what it did yesterday, it went green and actually went up. If you would have seen that today, I would have said, hey, maybe this market's got a chance of going down. But you didn't, Blanche. You didn't. And you're wrong. And that's how you trade. Believe what you see. It's the easiest thing to do, right? You think the market's going to go down? Well, when it starts to go down and UVXY is going up, then you could believe. Like the USAR trade. Look, this thing had to confirm. It had to confirm. It had to roll. Yeah. And it's pretty much over now, right? We're done. Ready to go long, probably. I probably should have covered and went long already like these guys did. Just waiting on this Jemmy trade. But I was doing some math, right? So I did some math. And, when I threw this trade out there on May 12th, after the May 12th power gap, that's when I said, oh my God, you cannot be bearish probably for the rest of the year. And so far, so good, right? Since the May 12th power gap. And I've been saying that generational lows were put in that day. I meant it then, right? And I still mean it now. What's my point? Oh, right. 10%. So I was doing some math off that pivot point, and I was just doing Easy math. We're probably going to rally 10% into the end of the year. We've already done that. I think we could tack on another 10% from here, which would be a 60% move. And when people say, "Oh, that's crazy," crazy, I saw the entire market double in 9 months once. You're telling me it can't happen again? This market's better than it was in 1998 and 99 and 2000. You're telling me the Qs can't go up 100%? I'm calling for it to go up 100% by April 20th, 2028. And it's very simple math. 8 to 9 more percent to this year. Next year, we're going to have a bear market. We're only going to be up 10%. You see what I did there? That's not a bear market. But a bear market in this environment is only up 10%. But then we'll make up for the lost year, only up 10% next year. And then we'll tack on about 22% after that, right? And then the next year we only tack on, we have a mild 15%, and then we rip in 2028. It gets us to about 1,043 on the Qs, roughly right around April of 2028. April 20th at 1:43 p.m., as if you want to be exact. And when the Qs are sitting there at 1,036 on April 20th, 2028 at 1:43 p.m., remember this conversation. But Kenny, you said it would be 1,040. It's only 1,036. By the way, the USAR short is over, my friends. Thank you for playing. We are back to our regularly scheduled programming. The stock's going to 100. All right? Don't have any illusions or delusions. But more importantly, if you're in the Fermi, let's go, people. You waited. You see? Patience, my friends. Patience in a bull market. That's all you need. Patience in trading. Patience and price. Patience and price. Patience and price. That is patience plus price equals discipline. Patience and price equals the discipline that you need to be a trader. Patience and price. You know why? Because patience and price. That's what keeps you in the trade, right? So, the reason we stayed short the USAR was that we had levels that my algo was telling us that could go to. So we had a reason to be patient. Price. Patience and price. Patience and price. We milked it all the way down, right? This Fermi trade, right? The reason I'm still in it is that once I got in, I'm using VWAP as my out. Could have taken some profit already. Pulled back. I wasn't too happy about that pullback because it went from a winning trade to a losing trade, but I don't give up unless we're getting through VWAP because I'm in from here. I'm willing to risk my 20 cents. And next thing you know, we hopefully get some follow through on the upside. I'm counting on 28.50. And that's the thing about the bull market. I mean, seriously, this is what gets you in trouble in a way. In a bull market, you really shouldn't be taking losses on long trades. And obviously, if you're trading some pump and dump bullshit biotech stock that rolls over and starts getting smoked, yeah. But you could just basically wait out most long trades. And inevitably, they get bought, and then you get out. But that in itself can get you in trouble when the market one day when it changes sometime in 2028 when the market actually gets a little bit more volatile. But speaking of volatility, right? Volatility is coming. You know, that doesn't when you hear the word volatility, that a lot of people think that means the market's going down, right? No, it's just you're gonna get bigger swings. You're gonna get some chop because earnings are coming, right? So you're gonna have gaps all over the place. Right. So you're gonna have more volatility because the market has rallied into all these earnings reports. That doesn't mean we're going down, just like the word rigging. People hear the word the market's rigged. If you're my uncle, who's not the smartest guy, he thinks the rigging is a bad thing. You talk to my dad, he's like, the rigging is why the market goes up. That's why the market's rigged to go up. Your uncle's an idiot. That's why my dad turned 30 grand into $6 million because he's been long the market since 1978. And he's still in some of these trades. I mean, I can't believe my dad's still in the IPO of Oracle. I had to call him the other day. I'm like, you still in Oracle? He's like, yeah, why would I sell it? I'm like, why would you, I guess? Why would you? He's like, you'll inherit it. I'm like, oh, I guess. Can you sell some calls against it, Dad? I mean, what are you up? My dad's up 300 points on this Oracle trade. I'm like, you think you might want to sell some calls, maybe? No, they'll just take my stock away from me. And by the way, here's another name from today. Tusha. You guys know Tusha Pharmaceuticals, right? It's a new drug. You just take it and your ass grows. TSHA. Yeah, it's been hot for 2 days. I don't know. Actually, if they show some size, oh look, they got some size down. Goldman Sachs. Look, he's the only person that shows himself on the box nowadays. Anyway, while I've got you here, I guess we'll go over a little bit, unless I get booted by my corporate overlords. Sorry, I was late. Sign up. So I said a whole bunch of stuff, right? Vegas in February, but if you want an intro to what I'm going to be doing in Vegas, it's probably going to be like an exact replica. I'm doing it tomorrow at 4:00. If you haven't signed up, here's the link. Okay, maybe not. Way to go. There it is. So this is the link. I'm doing a 4 o'clock broadcast, 4:00 seminar, symposium, if you will. And I'm going to be doing so basically 45 minutes, intro to VWAP, kind of how I use it. I'm also going to challenge all the other gurus to a rumble. Yeah, I don't think anybody could compete with us. Straza, me, Solid, and Sean. By the way, if you're out there, I don't mean to insult anybody. I'm sure you guys are great traders, but I mean, 4 is enough. 4 for 4. I mean, 4 guys. Our 4 guys against your 4 guys. I'd go to battle with those 4 guys against anybody. Anyway, I'm doing the show tomorrow at 4, and then I'm going to invite everybody to the schmooze. It's going to be a good one. Talk a little bit about what we look for on these earnings reversal trades. get you familiar with that trade. Hopefully get you familiar with all of our friends, and then we have a dance party. No joke. Have a DJ that shows up, scratches, and plays us out for an hour. And then sometimes Solid comes on because he can't sleep. It's a good event. And then sometimes we leave the room open so you guys can trade with us on Friday. And then we give you the boot unless you join our family. And thank you for everybody that's joined us brand new today. Hopefully you put on some of these trades. It's been a pretty decent day. Kind of boring in a way. You know, I had to fight through this rigatoni short. And again, these last two contracts, I'm mildly concerned. I've taken some profit on the trade array. I got two contracts left. Obviously not looking too good. I'm in from $1.20. But USAR treated us well on the short side. Got paid on the ASTS 2 out of 3 times. Third one was the great one. I mean, unbelievable short. I even got in late. Still managed to make something. Again, this is the trade that we're going to expect to do a lot of. Gapped up stocks on good earnings that break VWAP tend to have some profit taking. And that's why when I say there's volatility coming, that's good. Doesn't mean there's going to be a crash, right? We don't need a crash. We just need 2-point pullbacks that are algorithmically, strategically placed. And those 2-point pullbacks, you're buying contracts on, usually get a 2-point trade on a, depending on what price of the stock is, obviously. But you're usually making 50%, 100% on those moves on the options. That's why I want to get you guys a little bit more familiar with some option trades. It's a pretty simple procedure. I trade at the money weekly options. Boom. There you go. That's it. I trade at the money as closest to expiration as possible because I don't need to pay any premium because I'm not planning to hold the contracts. So why pay premium? If I want to own something, yeah, I'll go out and buy a leap and I'll pay up, but not when you're just day trading. So yeah, tomorrow we got that event. There's your link. And what I'm going to do there, I'm also going to be doing in Vegas. So if you missed the show tomorrow, come and join us in Vegas at the Paris Hotel. I'll be on the main stage, showing off all my tattoos. I'm going to wear shorts and a white jacket, so I could show all my VWAP tattoos and all the stuff on my legs and my bull and my bear. And we are going to have some fun. They'll know who we are because we're going to have all t-shirts on, VWAP and t-shirts, whatever we do. I'll make t-shirts for everybody. We'll make it like a family reunion trip in Vegas. And then we're doing karaoke at the Cosmo. If you guys like karaoke, if you don't, I'm getting a table at the club. Drinks are on Eric. And then we're going to, if you hang, I don't sleep when I go to Vegas. So Tuesday night, it's going to be a long night. Better take a nap somewhere. But we got steak oyster bar at 6, and then karaoke till 1. And then if you're feeling hardcore, we got a club to go to. I got us on the list at a club, but I don't think anybody's clubbing with me at 1:00 in the morning. What? I still think I'm a child until my body gives out, and I'm sitting there crippled when I get home. But that's what Vegas is for, right? Yeah, I still think I'm 20. I was a big rave kid. I love clubs still. I love loud music. I love EDM. I love it. Still do. My wife thinks I'm insane, and she never comes with me. She's like, have fun at the club. Okay, I'll see you on the plane. I roll into the room. My wife's packing up. She's like, I can't believe you're just getting in. I'm like, yeah, let's go home. And that's why I'm still married after 25 years. My wife just says, have fun at the club. I just leave. Last time I was hanging out with Dennis Rodman at the Hard Rack. I was like, Dennis Rodman, what's up, man? We're playing roulette together at 4:00 in the morning after I came out of the club. Yeah, it's funny. The nicest guy. Yeah, Limelight. Well, we were competing with the Limelight. Yeah, we were more rave kids, so we had our own places. We just rent out, warehouses and stuff like that. Originally, we were out in Long Island where it all got started. Oh, hang on a second. Maybe it's because I'm broadcasting two places at once. I'm not sure. But if you guys know, at 11 o'clock, I generally go on the interweb and I do a broadcast so you can watch me. Yeah, sometimes this microphone it's wonky because I use a professional microphone because I think I'm Bing Crosby. Ba ba ba. Oh Fortuna, holy crap! This guy knows what he's talking about. Da-da-bum-bum. Look at you. They didn't call it EDM then, my friend. That was techno. Let's go. I'll play some of that tomorrow night. Don't get me started, baby. I use this as my walk-in music once. Welcome. You know what? I'm going to use this in Vegas. Tonight, VWAP will change your life. Kneel to the VWAP or be damned. You guys know what I'm talking about? Now we're having too much fun. Wow. How the chat room works? That's a great question. Hopefully you if you were paying attention for the last 4 hours. How the chat room works is that I talk about that trades that I'm liking and I walk you through it and then we put trades on and we all live happily ever after. Did you just show up? Did you just get here? Yeah, we were short in USAR, we were short in Rigatoni, we're long FRMI right now, and I'm about to sell some finally. All right. No, there's no. I'm actually going to be doing a little bit more of that. I'm going to make some cool videos, kind of like an intro to VWAP video, so you can get an idea. And then I do most of the stuff live. I'm going to do a session with you guys to implement the codes. We'll do a session where I introduce you to my coder, the man, the mystical man behind the scenes. His name is Soligello, who has built all this stuff for us. Freaking genius. I showed him a couple of things back in 07 and he just ran with it and has created this world that we live in. I'm just navigating through it. And with Nos on our team now and Solid, we're going to get them together and we're only going to grow from here. We're going to inevitably get this thing where it's automated and we're never going to miss any one of these trades. Right now, it's more of a manual. We have it built where we kind of get an algorithmic entry. You still have to manually, get out of the trade because the computers only know certain mathematical formulas and if-then statements. Oh, is it better now? Hang on a second. Let me try a different microphone. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Can you hear me? Fa fa fo hi. All right. So yeah, basically, I'm here every day. I never leave. Seriously, I never leave. Today, the only reason I'm getting up. I got a meet and greet with some investors. Hopefully, they give me the money to fund my algorithmic hopes and dreams. But what we're doing here generally is we're trading around this algo that we built back in 2012, 2013, and sold Fermi. Boom! There you go. FRMI just sold 200 shares. There we go. Got the 2850 sold to you. Right now that you sold some, finally we raised our stop to that little pivot point. So now you locked the trade up. Congratulations. You got yourself a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Trade works a lot, my friends. Trade works a lot. So what we do here in the Hit the Bid room, we all kneel to my feet. No, we kneel to the VWAP and we appreciate this trade. And I navigate you through the wonderful world of VWAP and what some people call the anchored VWAP. We call it lovingly the multiple time frame VWAP here. We're all basically doing the same type of thing. Brian Shannon, obviously, the overlord or the lord of VWAP. His disciple was this kid, Zach Hurwitz, who was a member of our chat room watching me trade. And he said, hey, do you know that you're trading around VWAP levels that are very specific? And I said, who the hell cares about VWAP? And he said, apparently you do. And I was just trading basically pivot points, just highs and lows of candles and just using price. So he's like, that's what VWAP is. And all I knew VWAP was this one blue line that the institutions had to beat. So from carefully just experimenting with all different varieties of multiple time frame VWAP and which trades work best with it, we found that earnings reports are the best and stocks that are in the news. So the more volume, the more better. And then we give you our algo and our charts. And this is just the rudimentary form. This is just your intro to VWAP. So you're getting the 1 minute and a multiple time frame VWAP. So it grabs as much data as you want. And in this case, you see how what the algo is doing for us here on this Fermi trade was that faux show bro that I speak of. You guys all hear me okay? The faux show bro that I speak of, right? When you fake out, shake out, but prior day VWAP access support, now you know that the buyers are secure here. And then when it gets back above the VWAP and starts to rally, you buy it. Now I missed it, but I got in here on the pivot. When it pivoted here and starts to rally, that's where I bought it. And I bought a little bit more here. And then I placed my stops at the VWAP, which is also the pivot, defining my risk. Now, what the algo does for us is we grab more data. Okay, it's still down there. Let's go take a look at 3 days. Oh, well, how you doing? The 3 days telling us that the next price discovery area, as our hero Solid calls it, is up here. Bang, went right there. Boom, went right there. But that price was putting up resistance. Putting up resistance. Da-da. That's a Jimmy Cliff song, right? Putting up resistance. So we're not going to sell it all there, right? But some people sell. I didn't sell any because I was looking for a bigger move. Bang, it broke through. Then it came right back. Almost got me to sell, but my stop was the blue line. So this chop was annoying, but not annoying enough to want to sell. And then it U-turns back above prior day VWAP, and I grabbed 4 days worth of data, and it's telling me that the stock's got a shot to get to 29.50. So that's my incentive to hang in there with it. But now that I'm profitable, I take money, and now I raise my stop to the pivot point. I'm hoping, this is the only time you're allowed to use hope as a strategy. I'm hoping my algo is right, telling me that this thing got a shot to go to 29.50, 29.45. But I trade not to lose. So now that I'm winning, I take money at the half. I raise my stop to pivot point 28.20 and 27.87. Now I can't lose because I'm in. I've taken profit. I raise my stop on what I have left. I hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And every trade is exactly the same. Every trade we ever do. So it's always about today's VWAP and multiple time frames and how what they're telling us about the posture or the price action. Like the USAR trade. Nobody was delusional to think that this thing was going to stay down. We don't stay down, right? We got the 1 day. We got the 2. We got the 3. Well, we got the 3, right? So same exact trade, right? If 3, then we look for 4, right? But if back above 3, we out because the market doesn't stay down. Nothing ever stays down because the market doesn't go down anymore. So if you're going to be a shorter, you have to use VWAP or you're going to die. Like I've given back millions when I wasn't using VWAP as a shorter. I blew my life up 3 different times. But now that won't happen anymore because I say, oh, I guess I'm wrong again. Cover. And that's simple. When you get to the point where you're not stubborn about it, you know the market knows more than you do, right? You know that, right? That's the first. Do you need me to go through the AA meeting? The market knows more than all of us, right? Nobody knows more than the market. What is the market? The market is VWAP. So VWAP knows more than all of us. And if you're still delusional about that, take a moment. Breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the stochastics. Can't even say the word. It's all about price action, my friends. And the way that we trade, there ain't nothing on the chart other than the pivots, lowering and raising your stops around VWAP and prior day VWAPs. And that is the way you could stay a profitable trader and be consistent about it. And that's what this whole game is about. If you can consistently make money. And by the way, the guy that emailed me about quitting your job to become a trader, don't do that. Don't ever quit your job to become a day trader unless you make consistent money for at least 6 months. Don't ever quit your job. And to the guy that sent me an email, should I sell my car to do what you're doing? No, do not sell your car. Please. Just don't sell your car to put it into a trading account. Not a good idea. Come and learn what we're doing first and maybe donate some blood and sperm. Don't sell your car. You need your car. Okay. And I'm serious. Somebody sent me an email. Hey man, I'm loving what you're doing, man. I'm making money. I'm thinking about quitting my job. I'm like, nobody quits jobs. Don't quit your job. Do not quit your job unless you're making good money consistently for at least 6 months. At least 6 months. Don't ever quit your job and don't sell your car. All right. All right. I guess I'm going to just stay here. Oh, wait, there we go. Yeah. Well, Salagello is our coder. Between him and Nos, I think they have it figured out for TradingView. I think there's one for IBKR. I'm a huge fan of Thinkorswim because that's what I was born and bred on. I've been using Thinkorswim since inception. What you're witnessing here on my screen, I have not changed since 2007. This is the same exact layout that I've had. Well, 2012 it changed because I put VWAP exclusively on my chart. So it's 2012 basically. I have not changed a thing. And I'm never changing because it works. And that's one of those things about trading. When you have something that works, do that thing as much as it works for. And by the way, if you're in Fermi, we got to, okay, so I'm going to lock this trade up. So let me show you what I'm going to do, right? Sold some at the half, right? So you see kind of, this is what I say. When I use price, I don't, not only do I use price, I use exact price, like the exact number. So when a stock breaks the high and that high point is 28.12, look at that candle right there, right? That's what? Is that the same exact price? I can't see from here. That's 28.20 and this is 28.20. Huh? 28.20 broke, 28.20 got tested. That's my stop, 28.20. So now I stay in the name unless it breaks 28.20. And that's trading. Sorry to make it seem so simple, but when you trade price, it's only about price. So now you take, you have your reason to buy, fake out, shake out, VWAP break, consolidation breaks, right? You had your reason to buy here, little consolidation break here, right? Then it went green. We had our reason to still like it because it went green 1 minute. So sorry you're not seeing here. Here's the 1 minute multi-day. I gave you the whole story before. 2 day, 3 day, 4 day. So I'm thinking we got another $1 to go, and I'm willing to risk what I got left to see if it goes there. I just told this story. I'll tell it again because it's always the same trade. So you guys free? You guys got my schedule down, right? We got tomorrow at 4, schmooze. Friday, some options. And then we're headed to Vegas. Well, Vegas is in February. You guys know Above Food Ingredients Incorporated Systems? I don't know what's up with this stock, but I saw it earlier. This is a follow through from yesterday. Wow. We trade so many stocks that sometimes I don't ever remember, right? If there's a red line on my screen, that must have meant that we've traded this thing and we were doing some work. If this is all-time highs, I think I found us a new freaking stock. Wait a second. No way is this actually. Did this stock go from 7 to a quarter? If there's no reverse splits in this name, this is actually quite interesting because it obviously died. Andy Dufresne, Kardashian bottom, multiple time frame VWAP break. And stocks that break 5 that look like this tend to go back to where they came from. This actually could be something interesting here. Wait a second. I think I found ourselves our next runner. Now, what the hell stock could Above Food Ingredients Incorporated? Well, hopefully they have some Bitcoin as their in their treasury or something, because then it's not worth buying. If it's not AI, space rockets, or robots, well, hopefully Above Food Ingredients makes space food. Maybe that's what they do. Because I'm really not interested in stocks unless they're in the space rockets, robots, quantum AI, chips, and nuclear. ABVE. What does this thing do? Oh man, I love when they use these terms. They produce vertically integrated supply chain products. What the hell does that even mean? They just use words. I love when these dumb companies, they just use a bunch of words. They sound like they mean something. What does that even mean? What the fuck? Sounds like that dumb stock FOFO. Above Food Regenerative Ingredient Company produces vertically integrated supply chain products in Canada. It operates through oh my God, look at the words here. It operates through 2 segments: disruptive agriculture and rudimentary ingredients and consumer packaged goods. Let's call the company right now. Hang on a second. What in the hell does that even mean? Rudimentary? I love that word. Rudimentary ingredients. I gotta go get my thesaurus. What's the number here? Let's see what they really do. 306.
You've reached 306792268. This mailbox cannot receive messages at this time.
Sell it. See, if they don't pick up the phone, it's a pump and dump. Oh, damn. I think we just might have missed another trade. BTQ rolling. Ooh, full-blown reversal, friends. This was that pump and dump the other day. Oh, actually, see? Yeah, look. You're going to trade some stocks short? Pump and dump crazy ones? Well, wait till they confirm the short. And there's confirmation. Chances are this thing's about to break down to 1306. Do we want to keep trading? I don't know, but it would have been funny if they answered the phone. You guys ever hear me prank? I call companies to do my due diligence. Sometimes the phone calls are just hilarious. Too bad they didn't pick up the phone. That would have been fun. But all kidding aside, right? Dumb charts, dumb stocks. That's 2025 in a nutshell. Every one of these worthless stocks that have gone from a quarter to 5, that's kind of like that's where they lift off from. So if this stock breaks 5, you have to actually think it's going to go back to all-time highs. And if they start flashing big size on the offer at 5, chances are it's going to break, right? So let me just take one more. I mean, that's some dumb looking chart right there. That is as pump and dumpy as you can get. But man, that $5 number is big in this world of algorithmic trading. And considering the stock's never been this high, except for when it first came out, you're inside that catastrophe candle. Let me see if there's anything in between. And I'll show you what big size on the offer means in a second. Just let me see what the story was back then. What was that, 5 years ago? Yeah, so you're inside this monster candle. So if it does break 5, you got a chance for just to rip right to $7. That's interesting. And here's another, guys, if you're interested in this one, right? So here's how, again, when I stumble onto an idea that looks interesting, put it on my watch list, right? Put it up here. I put it on the scanner to make sure I don't forget about it. And now you're in. Now you're in my circle of trust, right? So now I watch it. And let's say it doesn't break 497 today. Let's say that's the high of the day. And now it chops around and, consolidates this monster move, maybe even pulls back to the VWAP. Momentum is breaking prior day high. So if this thing's going to rip to $7, obviously it has to break 497. So if the 497 is, let's say this turns out to be a double top and it just consolidates above VWAP and doesn't crash, and it breaks that 497 tomorrow, buy it. And now you got a trade to look forward to tomorrow, even maybe later today. And that's how you start building your watch list, and that's how you find new ideas. Like TTRX, right? TTRX. Let's go. What is this? What is it? I want to buy it already. What is it? What is this? What is it? I went in. I already like it. Oh, I don't like it at all. No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Forget what I just said. It's got 8,600 shares traded on it. I don't like it at all. But if that's an IPO and they hit 10 and it tanked to 750 and you don't believe the market's rigged, there it is. Double top 10 goes to 750. Wow. If this had some volume, I'd actually want to take this serious. Is this an IPO? Yeah, here's why you don't want to trade this kind of stock, right? A 50-cent spread on an $8 stock, it's already a crime, right? Second of all, you got 89,000 shares traded on it. You got to get some volume. But all that being said, let's say whatever it does, chops around, beats, blah, 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 blah. If this is a brand new stock and $10 is the high and it breaks 10, stop what you're doing and buy it. Just like that USAR trade, right? This whole stock started out with, hey, what is this? Oh, I remember this one. Okay. $20 got hit, stock tanked. What went from what we thought was a pump and dump, it was a triple top $20 break. Buy it. I don't care what you think you missed. Buy it. You break brand new highs through a $20 stock. 20 gets you 30. You got 30 already. I think inevitably the consolidates about, again, I don't mind this thing consolidating for a week or two between 25 and 30, because when it breaks out again, we'll probably be on our way to 50, which is what I think is going to happen on this bad boy. And that's my story. And there was one more from this morning, was XBIO. And you see how once a pump and dump, always a pump and dump. This stock's a pump and dump, right? We were waiting for a reason to buy it. Never really showed up. Garbage. Probably be at zero by the end of the day. But again, when these pump and dumps turn and they start to rip like BTQ did yesterday, look at this turn. There was no reason to think this thing was about to make a U-turn. But the faux show bro, VWAP break, next thing you know, we're buying the stock. Here we're laughing about it going to zero, and then we're buying it over here. That's trading. Man, this thing's going to zero. All right, let's buy all we can. That's trading, man. That's what it's all about. And the quicker you are to realize that's how it is, you could go from loving something to hating something. Speaking of loving and hating something, does anybody notice what I just saw? SRAD! A faux show, bro. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Finally. Goddamn piece of garbage. By the way, this is the one stock I own the most of. And it got upgraded a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, oh no, somebody upgraded my stock. I probably should sell it. And I probably should have sold it. Because upgrades on stocks that are in monster uptrends are generally the corrupt analyst getting paid off to make it a buy recommendation so he can get his buddies out at a higher price. And that's what usually happens. And I didn't even take my own advice on this one. Too bad, because I would have loved to sell it all at 30 and change and then buy it back here. And now it would have been a much better price. But yeah, that's my big holding. Shh. Silver at 49. I know. You guys buying silver? I buy silver every week. And by the way, when you join my website this Christmas, we're probably going to have our own hit the bid silver rounds. I'm undecided what I want to do, but a lot of good things are happening. Be a part of our family, because I'm going to be putting out my own token probably for Christmas. And I think it's going to be a success. I do. I'm doing it the professional way. I got real guys that have brought coins public. We're doing airdrops. We're doing it the right way. I got a lot of people involved. I got people that used to work at Voyager and Kraken, so they know what they're doing. Even though Voyager fell apart, these guys still know what they're doing. But the guys are working at Kraken, and I'm learning the back end of how all these cryptocurrencies get formed and tokens get formed. And we're going to launch one, and we're going to give it immediate intrinsic value because you're going to be able to buy stuff on my website with the coin, and I'm going to issue the coin for nothing as part of the membership, and you'll have breakpoints and incentives not to sell it, because I know you're going to be tempted to sell it if it goes up 100%, but my mantra is going to be 50 to 5,000, 50 cents to 5,000. The idea is that I want one coin to be worth the membership to my website. And I'm getting it, again, I got professional people involved. It's going to be good. And then we're going to make our own silver coin too. And if anybody's in AGQ, right? AGQ, you guys, if you are trading silver, don't trade SLV. Go for the gold. I was going to say, go with AGQ. You're getting 3 times your money on the same move. We've been long pretty much since the breakout. And if anybody is in this thing, you sold some at 75, I assume. We're looking for 100 next. All right, my friends, it's been nice hanging with you. Still got some Fermi long, just hanging, waiting to see what happens next. Getting beat on the RGTI puts, but that's okay. They were paid for already. We're just seeing if we get something out of it. This IPO is weird, and that's where we're at. And I actually might want to look to short this TMQ because it might be going negative. Got a little blow off top action yesterday, follow through to the downside. I got to see this thing actually go negative before I want to short it. And that's it, my friend. So tomorrow at 4, and then we'll circle back at like 6 or 7 or 8. We'll schmooze, we'll dance, we'll talk. You'll get to meet Algo guys. And then we'll see about leaving the room open till Friday into the close. And that's that. Do I think we roll into the close? What, the Qs? What, you mean down? Down? Why would we go down? No, I mean, I'll entertain the idea if we actually start to go down. But that faux show, bro, above the VWAP, you got to break the VWAP and you got to break that level. Who are you talking about? How come I can't see it? Who? Are you making up stories to drive me insane? Is Joe you talking about Joe from the YouTube? How come I can't see the comments? Oh, wait a second. Big size on the offer on ABVE. You guys want to get nuts? You want to go fucking crazy? They just flashed about 1,000,000 shares on it. Let's buy some. Let's see if it gets into that 5 zone. Remember, it might spike only a little bit. So if it spikes over the 5, you sell into that first burst, right? And then you see what happens if it holds 5 bid. No, seriously, what are you talking about? Is he really there? That's hilarious. All right, I'm going to buy 400,000 shares of ABVE. Let's go. Hey, man, maybe it does rip to 7 right now while we're sitting here. I'll hang out for a second or two. You see the size on the offer? They're buying in the dark pools. We just needed to get 5 bid, and that'll trigger some more buying, and hopefully it spikes to like 525, and then you sell a little bit, and then hopefully it rips to $7. Who knows? Above food, right? I love me a $5 break on a penny stock. It's a big number. All right, the offer's gone now, so this better happen soon, and hopefully it rips to 511, and then $7. Working it, working that order. Let's go, $5. They're chopping and working it, working and chopping. No, but what I'm trying to figure out why I don't have anybody banned. I love people that you want to talk shit about VWAP. Why? How? Like, you're gonna talk shit about VWAP? If you want to make fun of me, yeah, I'm a weird looking dude, right? You want to make fun of my face? Look at my nose. I was playing basketball once. I ran right into a pole. My nose was never the same. But you can't talk shit about VWAP, right? I'm just a purveyor of VWAP. What are you talking shit about? You upset that the market never goes down? If it's the same guy, this guy's been talking shit because I say how the market never goes down. And then if the market goes down the next day, he's like, oh, this guy doesn't know anything. How's that working out for you? We're still long the queues from $38 in 2003. It's working out all right. Me? What do I do? Well, still waiting, see if it breaks 5, but it's just chopping around. So we could be waiting for hours, but when it breaks 5, I'm there. I'll buy a little bit right here. Start my position. Let me just check out what I'm doing here. ABVE. All right. Yeah, I mean, if it breaks to 5, I'm thinking it could rip. So, yeah, you're 73 and 60. There's your danger zones, and now we're in. Let's go. Let's get into battle mode right now. Now, if it breaks 5, I'm going to add. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Now we got some size. Yeah, you can't stop me now. Yeah, you can't stop me now, fucker.
You trying to fool us? Trying to get us out? Ain't faux show broing my ass. Let's go. Now break 5, bitch. Let's go. Go on the big guns. Oh, call on the big guns. By the way, I love your call on the fly trade. Nice trade from 30. I'm gonna have to call on the big guns on this one. Who's got some juice, man? It's only 100,000 on the offer. Pick them up. Pick them all up. Pick it all up, baby. And we're waiting. We're waiting. I have to use Mind Blitz on this trade. There you go. All right, we got to get 507. 507. 16ths of a point. It's only a $5 stock. I really want to get 512 on some of this. $512 is an eighth of a point. You know, I'm not going to be a hero here. That's me on the offer. Don't fuck around. I'm selling 8,000 shares right here. Sold! I got 98,000 shares left. I just sold 8,000 at 512. In your face! Don't fuck around. Fuck around with size on the offer. I just took that whole shit. What? What? They're going to halt this thing on the upside now. Get ready. But take some profit at 512. Now I'm putting a stop at 5 because I ain't fucking around. I ain't about to lose money on a stock I just chased at $5. All right. Now that's scalping. Now, if we can hold 5 when it pulls back, the next leg gets us to 525. We break 525. We get 550. You got to start thinking this thing is going to go to $7. Let's go. How you doing? Well, I just sold half my position just at 512. Full disclosure. I want the money. I'm coming in late. I don't want some $5 bullshit stock ruining my day. You feel me? So now if I have to punch out at 5, I bought 593, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and I bought some at 5. So now I got to sell half at 512, take my eighth of a point. Stop is 5 now. I don't give a shit if I get stopped out, which they're going to come for me right now, you bastards. You bastards. We're trading ABVE. And that's just big size on the offer. When they show big size, massive size on the offer, when there's already momentum, it's generally a buyer. I was hoping for at least a quarter, but I'll take the eighth. And hopefully we don't get stopped out. If it holds the 5, I'll stick with it. But a couple of ticks under 5, they might, and I just got out. Fuck you. I got printed at 5, some at 5. I just got done at 497, most of it. And I'm flat. Boop. All right. We'll revisit this one later. But if this is now a blow off top, again, that's why I sold into the move. Obviously we're coming in late to the name. It's just $5 breaks. You usually get something. And there was big size on the offer. Just played that little tiny move. If it consolidates here and starts to rip, good. If I was in this thing where I should have been buying it at 470, I still would have sold some at 512, but I'd still be in it. But because I bought it at 592, and I was late to the party, I didn't want to even let it go against me. So that's why I got out basically 497. Namaste. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you join me at 4. Come to the website, meet my friends, and we'll have a gay old time. Not in that kind of way, but in a Flintstones kind of way.